Hi and welcome to this video. This video is what I've called the restaurant analyzer combined. What we do here is just look at your current situation and we add in our food and our beverages later on, which I'll show you. You'll see down the bottom, this is your food section and this is your drinks. Now I'll go into that later in another video. This is really just to analyze your current situation where you might find yourself. Now, I've pre-done everything just for speed of the video, um, but I've done pretty close, I think. So let's just jump straight into it. I've color coded things just because one, I like colors. It makes me know that I've completed each task, and I can put it in a box and move on. But effectively, what we want to do here is write all your wages from kitchen to front of house. If you've got more staff than this, you can just write kitchen and put the total payroll, front of house and the total payroll. Or you could just write payroll and put the whole thing, no problem with that. Okay, super. You can have a look at these if you like and do your sums when you download the sheet. Um, super. This is the only thing that you can edit is these columns here and these columns. The subtotal will pre-populate. You can edit the super. At one point, it'll probably go up to 10.5. I think it is 10.5 for some people at the moment for some reason. Um, but anyway, once you fill in all your wage data here and your super, you'll get your total here. So wages is going to cost you $1 million, over $1 million a year. Overheads, I've just put a few samples in here. If you want to group things together, like this when we did this place, it was for actually that was for a month, so I need to times that by 12. So let's just call it that. All right, so now we're looking at 100 grand. Um, so if you wanted to group your petrol and van payments and rego into one, you could. This was doing a home delivery, so they bought a car for their business. If you don't have that, then you just put whatever you want. You can group this however you like. Some things are just a guess, but that's effectively all your overheads. Okay, which we've got 100 grand, which is probably going to be a lot more than that realistically. 10, yeah. Anyway, let's move on. And your food in some ways, to be honest, I've tried to guess close, and other ways I've tried to make it as hard as possible for this calculator to work accurately, so it works for you. What I didn't mention up here, I put your wage here as 100 grand. As a business owner, I hope you're making a decent living. If not, time to really look into why and fixing that. Down here, we've got our purchases of food and beverage, 200 grand a year. That's 400 grand a year total, which gives us a grand total of this amount here. And here you can edit this to whatever percentage you want. If you want to make 30%, you can put 30% in there, no problem. If you want to you're happy to make 10%, you can put that in there, no problem at all. Whatever you do, it will change, like so. I'll change it back to 20. All right, and this gives us how much money we need to be making per year. Now this total here will come up to here. Okay, so this is our total number of people per year, and everyone that comes in spends $30. So we need to have 62,200 people coming through the door. Obviously, it doesn't need to be the same people. You've got regulars, they are counted as well. But effectively, you need to have 62,200 transactions of $30 um, to get your target. And here you write your number of days that you open. If you open every day, great. It will lower this here. So you got 684 people per week, which turns out to be 171 per day. Now, you'll see that those numbers both drop down here. this venue is closed on Monday and Tuesday. You can see in the end that we've got a shortfall here, but we'll go over it quickly. What you do from here, you want to write down how many covers you're actually doing for the services that you're open, and it will give you a total. So we're looking at 405, which gives us really a weekly target of 405, or the shortfall of 279. What does that cost in daily, weekly, and monthly figures? Daily, it's $2,000. Weekly, it's $8,000, and monthly, it's 61 grand. So this business and yearly, it's a lot. All right. So this business really needs to open 7 days, but I'm just going to use those 7 days for the purpose of the video, and you can see that we're not doing big numbers here. So I'll just keep those numbers about the same. It's not closed. I'll put this for lunch. Dinner. As you see that I'm typing in there, you can see that the shortfall and these numbers are changing. Monday breakfast. So it's 30. Dinner. Dinner is spelled wrong there. Fix that in a minute. Dinner. Dinner. Sort this out because we've now, last example, the last person I use is for closed. So let's just put that in there, lunch, to make this a more accurate number. Okay, so you can see here we are 54 short now, which is about $1,300 a week, or 300 does. Now this is pretty typical of most venues. They're closer than what the original figures were, but they're still a shortfall. So what we need to do from here is start analyzing here, how can we save costs here? Do we need 2 kitchen hands and things like that? However, we won't look into that in this video. We'll go through that in the rest of the program, but this is really just to give you an understanding of where you currently are and what you need to do, or what you can do to make that shortfall. And quite often it might be just flicking over to these drinks and dish prices to or the sheets rather, to raise your prices as little as 20 or 50 cents. That's all it's going to take sometimes. But we'll look into that. Now we've got down here is what I will look into later on in another video as well. But effectively, what this is for, quickly, is that if we need to increase our covers, how can we do this successfully? What hours or what half an hour can we improve on, where we don't have to have extra staff on? Because there's no point trying to get breakfast busy at 6 o'clock or 6:30 if you've only got one staff member on and they can't handle it and you've got to pay someone else. So it's all about working it out smart with the information that you've got. So we'll leave this video from now, get into it and fill out your data, and see how you go.